Well, hello everyone. Welcome to the Prospectors Cash live stream, Wednesday night live stream. And when we'll give a few people a chance to get in here. To first, I want to start off that let everybody know that we're going next Wednesday night. We're not going to have a live stream. We're going to have it on Thursday instead. That's December 14th. We're going to have a basically the giveaway for the XP MI6 pen pointer. We're going to be giving that away. If you want to know how to enter for the XP MI6 pen pointer, I'll show you the video of that right now. This is the video you go to on YouTube. It's entitled "Win an XP MI6 pen pointer." You'll see that in the bottom down here on the screen. Let me move this over where you can see it. So you'll see Win an XP MI6 pen pointer channel updates. And it's over on, you go to Prospectors Cash channel and you can see that. So with that being said, what we're going to talk about today is the new Go Terrain app and other apps that other people have been using. These apps are primarily designed for mapping where you've been and your treasure, kind of keeping a track of your treasure locations and all that stuff. And it's kind of something I've done since I started. I'll keep a little Excel spreadsheet of my finds, and there, there's issues with not being able to remember where you've been and stuff like that. So I think that's where this new uh, XP Go Terrain app comes in. Is when you use it. Hello, Josh and David and Wild Hair. How are you guys doing? Um, anyway, this new app is kind of something I've been hoping for a long time. I've used just a regular GPS to map where I've been, but it doesn't map your exact locations where you've done targets. And some of the features of this Go Terrain app are that you can mark it on a map as you're detecting, and it'll give you the target ID, and we'll go over all this in just a second. It'll give you the target ID, and it will give you you know, an idea of where you walked. And you can also take pictures of your finds and that kind of thing. So it's kind of a cool thing to have. Basically, I'm kind of new to this Go Terrain. I've just used it one time, and I'll go over what my success was in just a minute. But if you guys don't know, I've got it installed on my phone right here. Let's just switch over here to this, and you'll see that I've got it on the phone, and basically it comes up and it pairs with your search coil. You'll see I've got it paired to one of my search coils up here in the top left. You'll see right there is where it's paired. You'll see it's green, and if it's not paired, it won't show that. So you can click on this, and I'll just turn that off. We'll disconnect it, and you'll see that it tells you that basically to pair it with your coil, you just search for your search coil, and it'll go out and find a search coil if there's one available, and it'll pair it with it if it finds it. It found it easier earlier. Okay, so it found it, and we just over here on the top of this thing, we just switch it on. Now, I want to mention also that you do not have to pair this to your dais. You can actually use this as a standalone program and mark your targets as you're walking. So if you click the go button down here in the bottom, it will start, it maps where you are. And as you start walking, you'll see it's just like any other recorder. Down here, it has a record and, uh, you know, basically a button here. It has your location on here. You can do the different target symbols. We can take a picture here on the bottom. And you can record your microphone. You can actually turn it on and do a video of your find if you wanted to and save it. Um, but basically, I've got it set up now in a mode that it will. I'm trying to, excuse me, trying to get my search coil down here on the floor and set it in my lap at the same time. So you'll see I'm sweeping a quarter in front of this thing. If you sweep it in front of it 8 times, it'll mark the target ID on the screen. And you'll hear it ding too to let me know that there's a target. You can turn those notifications off. But so basically that is running right now, and I've got it in auto mode. So every time I sweep the coil 8 times, it gives me a target ID, an average target ID of those 8 sweeps across a target. And you'll see on here, I've got the one right now that for the quarter 96. And basically in my man cave out here, I've got that listed. So you'll see that's on the screen, and you can pause this and you can restart it. Like if you want to restart, you take a break and then you want to restart your hunt, you can restart it and pause it down here. Um, you can change your maps the way they look. You can change to a normal looking map, a satellite map, or a ground map. You can change whatever. I like the satellite map. So you can change your different maps. And then when you're done, you can end your activity. So, and it shows your activity, and you can name your activity whatever you want. I'm going to just type up here test on this, and we can save the activity. And it's going to save that activity and all my target data on here. And I've got it synchronized this to the cloud. Now, I've not quite figured out their cloud thing yet. I haven't been able to import anything from their cloud. So I don't know how their cloud works. So that's basically how the app works. Now I'm going to go over some other features. This little icon down here in the bottom is a little man swinging a metal detector. That's so you can put it in group mode, and you can select, between, you'll see at the top, it switched between group mode and solo activity at the very top up there. I don't know if you can see that little white button, but it shows up here, group mode and all that. My big fat fingers are getting in the way, guys. But you can also set different color lines and that kind of stuff. And you can, basically choose your line width, your icons, your color lines, and the settings here. And so this thing is kind of, it's set up that it will help you out if you're out hunting with somebody. You can actually do a group. You can see where your buddy's detected in here. And you can also, by this little group mode, like I've got it in group mode now. So if I had a buddy that was detecting and he was on my settings, we could set that up in the group mode. Now, also it has a little menu icon up here. It has my activities, the little activity I just did. If I want to go back and view that, I can view it, and you'll see that we've got that quarter that I just found in my game room here. You'll see that little 96 target that we've just found while we were sitting here. And you can see that you could set your notifications to ding. You could synchronize your notifications from your buddies and that kind of stuff. Like if your buddy was off hunting somewhere and he found something, you can have that go off. You can go back and look at your targets. These are all in my test hunt here because I named that hunt test. But you'll see the different targets that I found while I was sitting here. It will display up to 412 targets on this target ID, but it does save it to the gallery. It saves it to a map here that you'll see. And then you can go to a gallery and look at a picture of all the targets that you've saved. So it's kind of a cool app. You'll notice I've got the premium version here. It's not expensive, $9 a year. It's worth it. And then they've got the manual for it right here. And then also down here at the bottom, you'll see they offer the Deus 2 manual while you're out in the field. I don't know if you guys can see that on my screen. But it's got some kind of cool features. And the reason for this talk today, I'm going to turn this off. And the reason for the talk today is I basically wanted to check with you guys on what you thought about this. I mean, I think it's kind of a cool thing going in the right direction, but it's not something I'm real fond of right now because there were some problems when I was doing it. First of all, I like to check my targets many times with my search coil, and I set my search coil on NC Relic Hunting. Michael says it's a great tool. I agree, it's a pretty good tool. I mean, I don't know if I like the automatic mode though, Michael, and I'll tell you why. I like to sweep my search coil a bunch of times so to test targets, and if you get in a patch of iron that's got those squeakers in there, it'll kind of you'll have a lot of targets on your screen. So I want to try the push mode. It's got a way where you can actually select which targets you want it to display rather than display every target on your screen. So that's a mode that I really want to check out is the push one. I'm trying to turn my Deus 2 off. You guys wonder what I'm doing here. Okay, so I got that turned off, so it quits beeping at me. Wild Hair says push is the way to go, and I agree with you, Wild Hair. Push so far is seemed to be the best. And like I said, if you don't have a Deus 2, if you're running a Nocta or a Mind Lab or something like that, and you want to hunt with your buddy, and you don't want to go over the same spot they've already been over, your buddy could have the same app on his phone, and you guys work as a team. You're not going to get the target IDs and all that. He's going to actually have to manually enter each target he finds in there, whereas you could push your targets or you could set it on automatic targets. But he still gets the ability to list his targets, take pictures of them, have a record of what he's found out in the field. And, I think it's a pretty good tool. There are a lot of other tools that people have been using in the past on the internet. I mean, I used my Garmin GPS for a long time, and I just took a notepad with me and wrote down, and when I'd find something, I'd mark it as a waypoint, and I'd name it Ring or something like that, and I would just make a note of what I found and where I found it. And the purpose of all of that is so that when you want to go back and go hunting in those areas, you can do that. I mean, it's you can go back and pick up right where you left off at, and you don't go back and go say, well, did I detect here before? And you can go to the new areas, and so I think it's a good thing overall. So. To keep track of where you've been in the past. I mean, underwater hunters like me, I don't see it being a use underwater. I can't figure out how you would use this underwater. So if anybody's got any clues on using it underwater, I sure would appreciate it. But on land, I see it being an invaluable way to do it. Like if you were hunting a ghost town or a relic site, or if you were hunting, a park that you keep going back to that same park and you named it that park and you wanted to pick up right where you left off, I think that would be a great way to use this tool. And just wondering what the rest of you guys think. If you got some ideas, post them in the comments there and let me know what you think. Um, Other than that, that's how my demo of this program and how it works. I used it out in the field at a Llano hunt we went to, um, and for some reason I lost all my target data. It did map where I had been hunting before, and I wanted the target data because I took a picture of a ring. I found a silver ring there, and I found some wheat pennies and that kind of thing. And I wanted to put those in there and keep track of where I'd been on that hunt. And for some reason, all my target data, when I turned the app off and went back in there, all of that was gone. So I don't know if that was user error and I didn't synchronize it with the cloud or what. I mean, I'm going to have to go back and use this program some more to see, um, to basically see what works the best for me. So, with that being said, is anybody else got a chance to go out and use this, uh, tool or use anything like it? If so, what do you use and how do you use it? Um, it's it's just one of those things I think would be useful, and I think it'd be a good way to keep track of all your finds. Another thing I wanted to talk about too is while everybody's just on here and seems to be nobody's commenting, I want to talk about a hunt we got coming up here in Llano. I'll share that with you, and you'll see it's the greatest little treasure show in Texas, coming March 22nd through the 24th. This hunt is open to the public, and they're going to have booths for metal detectors and finds and gold and silver relics, bottle arrowheads, coins, fossils, rocks, gems, minerals, all kinds of stuff happening at this treasure show, and that's going to be coming up March 22nd through the 24th. We've got a friend of mine, Larry Vickers of Vickers Metal Detectors. He is putting this on, and uh, I think it'll be a good thing, good hunt for us this year. We're going to be getting up into March. I'm looking forward to it. Hunt season starts. So in Texas, especially, we have most of our hunts, seeded hunts around March and stuff. And I don't really go for the seeded hunts that much, but I do like one thing. I get to see other people in the metal detecting community, and that's what this hobby's all about, is getting to know people and hanging out with people. Walt here uh, Walt here says, next time I'm out, I'm going to use tracks and just going to mark the targets. Yeah, so that let me know how that works, Wild Hair, because I want some information. Like I said, I lost all my targets up in Llano, and I couldn't recover them. And I do not know if anybody can figure out how the cloud works. You can't. I can't figure out a way on the XP site to go to the cloud. Anytime I try to import data, it tries to import it off of my my cell phone data. Finds a file on my cell phone to import. So I'm not sure, what import does. I'm not sure how to go to the cloud, and I can't find any data on how to do that. So if you guys got any information on how to do any of that stuff, I really would like to know. And maybe you guys could send me an email, tom@tomashworth.com, and let me know how that works for you. So so that's one thing that I want to point out, is that that those are two main issues I had with it, but it worked good other than that. And I really don't have a lot more than that. I mean, I wish I had got more time in the field using this program. And I'm sorry the live stream wasn't a little longer tonight and stuff. And I was hoping some of you guys had got out using it and had some input on it. I do want to point out I was really happy that XP come out with it. I've been hounding them for 5 years to get this program out, and I'm really glad they finally got the program out. And I want to give them kudos for finally getting it out. I know they had a lot of people like me that were on their backs on getting this program out. So thanks XP for getting the program out finally and finally releasing it. I'll be one of your best testers on this thing, and I'll try to feed back as much data as I can. But I do want to get quite a bit more experience on this, using this uh, program a lot better. So let me know if you guys have anything on it, and let's chat about it some and see what we come up with. And that is all I have for tonight. And I hope to see you guys on there. Hey, Southern Relic Adventures. I was about ready to sign off here. I have watched all your live streams, by the way, Southern Relic Adventures. Just wanted to let you know. I haven't been able to attend on Friday nights. And I also am a member of your channel there. And I'm just apologize. The weekends have been crazy for me, and I haven't had time to get on there and attend any of your live streams and stuff, buddy. But I am watching them. I am liking them, and I am a member. I liked your member only live stream last week, Southern Relic. Uh, so I really like that Southern Relic Adventures. Great members only for your first one last week. I did watch it, and so I just want to thank you for putting all that together. Southern Relic Adventures, really good job. Oh, so Wild Hair, the signal gets weak and tracks are not accurate. So on the top of the uh, Go Terrain app, it shows the accuracy, and most of the time mine shows 3 meter accuracy, which is about 15 foot. So when I was in the shed here, which is I'm in my game room with my pool table and all that back here, it's a outside game room with a metal roof on it, and it was showing 5 meter accuracy, which is 25 foot. So the Go Terrain app accuracy, I think it's the accuracy of your phone, and you might be right. Um, I know the tracks are a little bit off, but I still think if they're off the same amount, you kind of know where you've been, and I think you can kind of keep up with that. I don't. I checked it with my Garmin GPS, the accuracy of my Garmin GPS, and my Garmin GPS Map 66i was about probably 5 foot accuracy, so it's about 1 meter accuracy. So I think that your accuracy on the Go Terrain might be lower because a cell phone is mostly using cell phone towers to pinpoint your location rather than satellites. So I think that's the reason the accuracy is so low on the Go Terrain app. Uh, so anyway, uh, so your accuracy is good in hand. What accuracy are you getting? Is it showing up there? Mine shows 3 meters, and right here as I'm sitting here in the game room right now, it's showing 5 meters accuracy. Um, so, like I said, 25 foot, is quite a bit for a detectorist. But if it's off in the same amount, 25 foot, you could kind of skew your data over a little bit, I believe, and correct for that. But they're going in the right direction. I wish there was a method that we could hook our GPS up to our cell phone to make our cell phones more accurate. But I don't think that that the accuracy uh, will improve as long as we're using cell phones, which triangulates off the cell phone towers. I, Southern Relic Adventure says it's a good idea, but most of us just want to hunt. But if you really want to record your targets and picks where you find it's good. Yeah, and that's the main reason I wanted to use it is record the targets and have a record of them in my hunt ground because I do take notes when I'm in the field of things I find, and I keep a little notepad on my cell phone. Usually, when I get home, I note what I found and on each hunt, and I kind of keep a little record of that at home on my own Excel spreadsheet. But for most of us YouTubers, it's not really a problem because a lot of times when I'm hunting, I've got my GoPro on and I'm recording the whole time. So, especially water hunting, you can't use the app underwater, obviously. So, I don't see it really helping us YouTubers that much. But I do see a benefit. I mean, there's a program too, I believe. I'm going to pull it up here. It's called Treasure Hunt or something like that I was using prior to this. Is bring it up here while I'm here. Just Treasure Logger. See that little app? There goes. Not showing right in the phone on the phone. I don't know if you guys can see it. I don't think it's going to show up on my. That's the name of the app, Treasure Logger. It's an Android app, and I was using that app before this app, and it worked pretty good in the field. It works similar to what the Go Terrain app does, and I see the Go Terrain app is mainly if you're hunting with buddies and they've got different detectors. You'd know where they've been, they would know where you've been, so that you don't go over uh, yeah. So looks like fun for group hunts. Yeah. So yeah, I just showed the target on the phone screen, and then the target ID on the phone screen when I was doing it earlier, Michael. I just actually had the target IDs. I'd run a quarter over it and then show you. It pops up on your phone, so it shows up in big numbers on your phone. So, for instance, if you were hunting with the WS6 Master and you had WS6 Master on your headphones, for instance. I checked this out, and you had your cell phone mounted onto your rod, and that's all you had is a WS6 Master. You now have a big number screen DS2 with a WS6 Master set up. So that was one feature I found about it, because I underwater hunt with the full control box, and I just leave that on my water machine, and I only hunt on land with the WS6 Master. I don't see any reason for having the full control box at all when I'm hunting, out in the field. So I just use the WS6 Master. So that's one thing I found, is that if you wanted to, have your cell phone with you and you wanted to see the big numbers, you can actually see them on your cell phone screen. So that's, one good number. So David, my friend, he's waving at me. Hi, David. How you doing? And Southern Rail Venture says it's really good now as I'm looking at structure so I can show where large amounts of concentration of iron are. The owner wants me to document where the slave cabins once were. Yeah, so I mean, I mean, if you sweep it over the target in auto mode, you're going to get lots of targets. That's for sure, Brian. You're going to get a ton of targets. I mean, we were in an iron infested 1800s um, old hotel that has been chopped down here in Texas. David and I were on a hunt, and I was using the cell phone and the W6 Master, and I was had my cell phone in one hand and I was detecting with the other hand. And this place is loaded in iron. I mean, it's like you guys talk about machine gun iron. Uh, it's just going off constantly. And so I was looking at the target IDs, and you could plainly they were pretty quick to the screen. You could see that on the screen really well. On my um, Samsung uh, use hooked to the to it. I was using a Samsung S23 Ultra, and so it did drain my battery. I got there. I had 100% battery. I hunted for about, I guess, 3 hours, and my battery was at 45%. I did notice that the battery in my cell phone, and I think that's because it's using the GPS mode in the cell phone all the time. Uh, but there are ways around that. I don't know if you guys have seen something like one of these guys. You just hook these up to your cell phone right here, a little big old battery packs. You can hook them up to your cell phone. It's got the little cord on it. You mount your cell phone right on here. Use it as a selfie stick if you want to, that kind of thing. But that's you could carry that in one hand, and this thing here, you would use your cell phone all day long, and the battery never would drain. That's one way around that. Um, so the battery draining issue is something I notice on there, Brian. I did notice that as well. It give me about. I think I could probably hunt probably 6 hours before my battery be dead in my cell phone. I think that's about as long as I could probably get out of it. And so Brian, Michael says, I also like to use an app called GPS Tracks to make waypoints and sites. Yeah, I think that's similar to that treasure logger program, Michael. I think that's what is the program I was using before, and I kind of liked it. It worked. The treasure logger app worked really well. I don't know. Do you guys use mostly Android or iPhones? I only tested this. I only have iPhones stuff. I haven't got into the Apple stuff yet, so I only use iPhones and I only use Androids and Windows stuff. So, basically, I guess it depends on how good a battery your phone has in it. My S23 Ultra would normally last me 2 days. Um, so that's about how long I get out of a charge. So I don't know. I don't know how long iPhones last. Wild Harris says he uses iPhone too. So I don't know how long iPhones last. I've never had one. So, but I do know that it did shorten the battery life in my Samsung S23 Ultra. So anyway, the battery life issue, I lost my target ID somewhere. I don't know where they went to when I saved that data. It did keep my tracks, so I knew where I walked, which is kind of like the treasure logger thing. It kept my tracks as well. I turned both of them on just to see compare, and they're the tracks are identical on both of those. So both of those programs had the identical track. So it is using your GPS on your cell phone. Uh, and the track was quite a bit different. I'd say 15 foot different than using my Garmin GPS Map 66i. So I had that in my pocket, marking my tracks, and I noticed that there was about a 15-foot difference in that. So anyway, that's uh, that's kind of my take on the thing, is that I need to use it more and try it out more. It's like anything with XP, they always constantly improve stuff. And, uh, you know, it's something that's it's gonna get better as time goes on. And I don't know how they would improve the accuracy though, since it is using a cell phone, unless a cell phone suddenly had all the GPS characteristics of a normal GPS. And since GPSs use satellites and cell phones use cell towers, I don't know how that a um, cell phone can get more accurate than 15 foot. I think that's about the limit on that. So yeah, Michael, it's going to be a great treasure show. And Larry Vickers here in Texas, in Austin, Texas area, he's been a great supporter of our hobby, and that's going to be a really good show. We're trying to get some people from the different dealers to come in here, and a few YouTube celebrities. A guy named Brian and you and Calabash and Mental Metal and a few of you other guys that are on here. Listen up, come to the Texas Treasure Show, and it's going to be a big one here in Texas, and I think it's going to be real good. It's going to have lots of detector boosts going on, and like I said, that once again is on March 22nd. Let me pull it back up here. It is, and you'll see there, it is March 22nd through the 24th. And we're just now building the website there. It's uh, TexasTreasureShow.com if you're interested in that. So that's something coming up, guys, and it's going to be good. I'm looking forward. The Garrett hunt is going to be another big one. They have the Garrett Memorial Hunt every year here in Texas, or they had it one year, I think, in Indiana, but they've had it several times here in Texas. So I think that those are good hunts to go to. And there's a lot of other hunts that are coming up. I don't know of any of the big ones out west. The I want to hit some of those bigger ones in Florida and out west. Excuse me, out east this year. Um, yeah, Wildcat Prospector. Looking forward to the March show. Well, I hope to see you there. That we're looking forward to having a lot of people here. Yeah, an arm mount for the phone would help, but think about it. If you mount it to your arm on your metal detector, it's going to weigh the same as on that arm if you mount it to your arm. I mean, you still got to carry the same weight if mounted to your arm that you would on your metal detector. So I'm not sure if it's any advantage to having an arm mount on your phone would help or not, because you still got to carry that same amount of weight, whether it's on your detector rod um, or your stem. And how I found that out, I had a buddy of mine point that out to me. I was bragging about my wristwatch mount for my WS6 because I use that all the time, and I was bragging about how light the XP is with nothing on the stem, and basically having a wristwatch mount. And I had the wristwatch on the same hand that I was swinging the detector is. And he said, "Well, you still got the same amount of weight, Tom. You just got it, one of them mounted to your arm instead of mounted to the stem. You're still swinging the same amount of weight with that arm." And once he pointed that out and burst my bubble, I kind of laughed about it. I thought it was funny, but yeah. Uh, so if you had an arm mount, you're still going to have that weight, same weight you would if you mounted to your cell phone, to your stem of your detector somehow. But I do like the idea that this uh, Go terrain gives me big numbers when I've got the WS6, especially if I mount the WS6 to uh, these headphones here, which are the Quest headphones, which I think were mentioned on Southern Relic Adventures members only uh, live stream last week, we talked about the Quest headphones, and that these, I think these are just as good as XL headphones. I like them, and if you mount your little module on here, right here where this little thing is, and you trim the little ears off around here that Michael mentioned, you got to trim these little ears off right here to make them work. Then you somehow mounted your cell phone to your stem. You've got big numbers on your cell phone, and the reason I don't like to take my control box off my water machine is I've got the antenna wire ran perfectly, and it's kind of a pain to hook the antenna wire back up to my control box every time I take it off. So I just kind of leave it on my water machine with a 9-inch coil. So I want a smaller coil in the water anyway. You have less drag in the water with a small coil. So I leave it with a 9-inch coil on my water machine all the time, and then I use the WS6 for all my land hunting. And that, other than going to the beach, I never, hardly ever take the control box off of my short dive arm. And hence, the only thing I miss is those big numbers. And believe me, the numbers are bigger on the Go Terrain app than they are on the control box. So I really like the big numbers on the control box. So if you guys get a chance, check that out. It's really, really works good. It only gives you an average if you sweep over the target. I've got mine set to auto, and I sweep 8 times, and it gives me an ID. You can also set it to push, and the push mode you have to click several times. Wildhair says he has several WS6s. Yeah, so that's on my Christmas wish list, Wildhair, as I want to get another WS6 to hook up to my 13 by 11 coil, so that I have one set up for the 13 by 11, one set up for the 11, my underwater machine set up for the 9. So I just grab it and go, and I've got whatever I want to hunt with. Those are my 3 main units that I hunt with. So having another WS6 would really help me out. Although it's pretty easy just to pair to the different coil. It's not that hard. You just select a different coil on one WS6, but it's kind of nice to leave it with one unit. So you just grab the whole thing and just go out hunting, and you don't have to mess with, repairing everything. So anyway, guys, we've been on here about 43 minutes, and I've kind of beat this horse to death here about the Go Terrain. I really am interested on hearing more people's, idea of what the Go Terrain has done for them. So, if you guys want to send me emails, ask me questions, or chat about it, or point things out that I missed in this live stream, please email me at tom@tomashworth.com. I always answer my emails, and I had several emails after last week's live stream. I'm going to have to get with my buddy David, and we're going to have to figure out something, because I have several people wanted the Nocta bone conducting headphones. Different firmwares. That's a good idea, Wildhair. I didn't think about that. Anyway, I had several people want Nocta bone conducting headphones. So I actually am building a pair right now for someone, and then I have somebody else who wants one, but then I don't have a Nocta detector. So what I might have to do is borrow my friend David's detector to test them. I don't want to send them to people without testing them. But basically, I'm just kind of gonna build a few and see what people's feedback is on them, and go from there. It's kind of expensive producing, because I have to buy the XP headphones and rewire them for a Nocta, and then waterproof the connector on the Nocta. It has to be a waterproof connector on the Nocta as well. So it has to be water. You have to do a waterproof connection, and you have to rewire it, and that's what you have to do to make that work. But so I'm working on sending some of those out. I have several people sending me emails asking about that, and I've replied to a bunch of different emails from people on that subject. A lot of people watch the live stream apparently after it's went off, so that is kind of a good thing. That's the reason I put this stuff on there. Like I said, I'm kind of a new YouTuber. I'm just a old country boy trying to learn how to do this stuff, and it's kind of fun. I enjoy doing it. I enjoy um, the YouTube community. Everybody's been welcoming to me in the YouTube community. I support everyone's channel, and I just love seeing us get a lot of information and discussing these things on a regular basis with people. And I suggest that you guys uh, continue to support everyone on YouTube and help our hobby grow. It does help our hobby grow. Yeah, Michael, you were actually talking to me about it when I was talking about the headphones last week. I think we mentioned about the Quest headphones sanding down the knobs on the end to make the WS6 a fit on that. And I think we were talking about that David and I successfully created a Nocta waterproof headphone for his Nocta Legend. I haven't tested on any other Nocta machines, but they're wired the same, so I would think they would work on the other Nocta machines as well. But um, that's that's just something. David likes how my bone conducting headphones work on my XP Deus 2, and I said, well, we should be able to do that on with my electronics background. I said we should be able to do that on the Legend. So we got the ohm meter out and started ohming stuff out and figured out how to wire it up, and we got it wired, and uh, it's like a lot of jumpers you have to put on the plug and stuff like that to make it work, but it actually worked out well for us, and he's now got the very first Nocta Legend bone conducting headphones of anybody I know. I can't think of anybody else that's got that. So without further ado, I've said I'm going to get off here a couple times, and you guys keep pointing out good points, and I appreciate all that. And I just appreciate you guys getting on here with me. And I certainly appreciate you stopping in tonight. And I just, hope you guys join us next Thursday. We're not going to be on here next Wednesday. We're going to be on Thursday. We're going to have the live drawing for the XP MI6 pinpointer. And I hope that gives somebody out there a very nice Christmas present that wanted an MI6. So tell all your friends that next Thursday night, I'm giving away an XP MI6. All they have to do is go watch the video, and I'll share that with you one more time here, what the video is. It's this video right here, and you'll see Win XP MI6 pinpointer and channel updates. So if you guys go watch that video and enter the keyword in the comments, you're entered to win the XP MI6, and I just wish everybody a lot of luck with that. So with that being said, guys, I'm going to call it a night and go in here and got the Moscone Cup on TV, which is a pool, annual pool event named after Willie Moscone. It's the Super Bowl of pool, and that is on here. And I'm gonna go back in and watch the finals tonight. And they have 5 days of this pool competition, and it's something I enjoy watching every year. And I got off with there and taped part of what I was watching, so I'm gonna finish watching that tonight, and I'm gonna call it a night. But anyway, thank you guys for stopping in again. And don't forget that Southern Relic Adventures has his live stream on Friday night, and you guys should go join his live stream. Thanks, guys, and you guys have a blessed day.